Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. We live in strange times. We do live in strange times where truth isn't what it used to be, right? Truth used to be the thing that we all kind of agreed on, like up is up, down is down, black is black, white is white, you know? And that's not a racial thing. I was talking about the actual colors. And I know crazy people see everything in racial terms. No, I was literally just talking about the colors, black and white. I mean, literally, not assigning any, anything to either of those colors. So it's become somewhat of an oddity now for somebody to tell the truth, right? To somebody to stand up and tell the truth. Although the lies are just so all-encompassing, right? The lies are just like relentless. It is forcing more and more people to tell the truth. So the latest person who's doing that, I'm really gratified to it. Bill Burr. Now, Bill Burr is a comedian. He was in The Mandalorian. Kind of a blue-collar guy. And I was very disappointed that his was one of the voices not raised when Gina Carano was fired in an act of political bigotry. I don't think there's any other way of really describing it. Political bigotry. I was kind of disappointed that he did it, but then again, you know, he's got a career, he's got a life. I think he's probably has hurt his career in the short term. Hopefully, he's protected his career in the long term. Anyway, so we're going to be looking at him actually telling the truth. Again, I can't believe that this is actually a news story. Somebody telling the truth is a news story. Yes, it is. 2021. Somebody telling the truth is a news story. By the way, speaking of people telling the truth, I do recommend you going and find the clip of Ron Paul. Senator Ron Paul talking to Dr. Fauci. The doctor, this is a bit of an aside, but it's a good one. So Fauci, Dr. Fauci, back in May said, after saying there's no such thing as a lab leak. You know, the pandemic could have come from a lab leak. It came from a bat mating with another bat or a person in a cave a couple of 100 miles away. No, which is the story that China did prefer. Turns out that was all bollocks. And not only bollocks, but the change of function research that probably led to the pandemic was funded by Dr. Fauci, right? So we had Senator Paul. He got to find this clip. It's incredible. He reads out the definition of change of whatever research. He reads it. Then he reads out a report thanking Dr. Fauci's organization for funding that research, which meets that definition. And Fauci's like, no, I didn't know, no, I meant this. It was great. It was absolutely great watching the meltdown. His basic response was, you're not qualified to ask me a question because I'm an expert and you're not. So, that's what happens when you tell the truth, right? Or that's what happens when you confront people with a line. Fine. So we're going to get this article. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? Freaking awesome. Love you hitting the like button. Can you hit the share button? And by the way, if you're on the different side of the cultural aisle or political fence to me, I think now's the time to show group unity and hit the like button, baby. Hit the like button. Do that day. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the share button. Freaking awesome. Absolutely freaking awesome. Mostly. I said subscribe, but mostly hit the subscribe button. Comment, let me know what you think. And I think for 1 week only, I think we've got 1 week left on this. Check out my Indiegogo. 2 freaking awesome comic books. We got biblical Bible stories for atheist creators, rationalists and rogues. We have the Imperium, a love letter. The telefancy of the 1960s, and we have a ton of just wonderful extras that any red-blooded male or female, I would say, would love to own and get their hands on. You can get it all now. Go. The link is in the video. Look, it's just so good. Link is in the video notes. Right down below. Again, I'm planning on ending this one very, very soon, right? Ending it soon and moving on with life, right? Because I got my next campaign ready to rock and roll. I tell you, problem being has been working on a trailer for me. Oh my God, it looks awesome. It looks freaking, I can't wait to see it. It just looks freaking awesome. Fine, let's have a look at this article then. Bill Burr calls out CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC for incessantly covering former President Donald Trump, calling them effing treasonous, un-American pieces of shit. Yeah, I can't argue. And I do like that he put Fox News in there as well, because none of these people are your friends, okay? None of these people are your friends. Don't trust any of them. They're all lying pieces of garbage, right? Every piece of the media. Yeah, I would probably the same is true of Newsmax and American One. They're all garbage. Okay, don't trust any of them, because I remember election night where what was it? Chris Wallace was nearly ecstatic to call the to prematurely call the election and to shut down any talk of the clear voting irregularity, like clearly, and calling it terrible to say it. So Fox is in the bag with the rest of them. Screw the lot of them. If you want to know the news, I just think you've got to read a lot of sources, right? Really, I think you just got to read a lot of sources and try and find somebody maybe who's not, full of bias, which is hard. Kind of like Tim Pool. I do kind of like Tim Pool. He's a good resource. Crowder. I get a lot of my ton of news from Stephen Crowder. Holding no punches. Comedian Bill Burr recently shared his opinion on some of the biggest news media outlets out there, revealing that he isn't impressed in the slightest with the topics they choose to cover, or more they choose not to cover, right? I tell you, even Fox News, they all are just totally and gleefully ignoring things their heads would have blown up about if it was on the previous president, right? They would have things that would have been 24-hour news cycles going on for a week aren't even mentioned. Because I right now I look at MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post. I look at them the same as Pravda. They're propaganda rags in my opinion. By the way, people ask me where am I on vaccinating, right? And I'll give you my 2 cents on it. It's I do hear that you should be suspicious when the government says you've all got to take this shot and we're not going to tell you what's in it and shut up. That sounds scary. That does sound scary. And the fear is that this is going to like sterilize us or do something with us to make this new world order that we can become the sheep they want to control. Quite possibly, right? Quite possibly. However, I'm vaccinated. And just about everyone I know in my local in Israel is. Here's the thinking: if there is a new world order and this vaccine is a way of subjugating the masses, there's nobody in Israel who isn't part of the masses. I'm telling you, mate. Even the elites are still Jews, and Jews. They're not really allowed in Biden's country club, are they? Right? We don't. So I'm not really that bothered if because Netanyahu, well, say what you want about him, has a pretty good sense of self-preservation. Right? He's pretty good. I would say, well, pretty great at that. And if he's okay with it, I'm pretty much, okay, why not? But that's the only reason that I wouldn't be nervous of it. If I didn't live in Israel, I probably would be like, oh, wait, what? but I live in Israel, so there you go. I'm lucky that way. To be more specific, called out CNN, MSNBC, Fox News for constantly covering Donald Trump, asserting that the constant coverage of the former president was effing treasonous and un-American piece of the shit. Okay, but what? Okay, what? I'm intrigued now. They're always looking for stuff with Trump to boost their ratings because they're all in the toilet. Oh God, I can't wait to see CNN go under. That's going to be glorious, isn't it? It's just going to be glorious. My mother-in-law comes over. Comes over to help watch the kids, and she puts on CNN. And you know what those effing morons are doing? They're effing talking about Trump. Yeah, they're obsessed. Said the comedian during his latest episode of the Monday Morning Podcast. I've got to check that out. I swear to God, I cannot believe people watch that channel. They're so dumb. It's like, do these people give an F who's president? They want Darth Vader, Trump, to come back. They do. Look, the worst thing that liberal progressives can ever get is victory. That just makes them miserable. It makes them so, because they got nothing to complain about then. So they just keep complaining. They wanted to come back because they got nothing to talk about because it's show business, and Biden is an effing bore. Yeah, but his administration is imploding upon imploding. I mean, we had just the bizarre thing of the Democrats are saying that if you want voter ID, you're a racist because black people are too stupid to get ID. Right? I'm not making it up. That is actually their position. That black people are too dumb to get ID, so therefore it's racist to ask for ID. So they're putting legislation in place in Texas to enforce voter ID, right, and to stop a whole bunch of dubious electoral practices. The media and the Democrat have said en masse, no, you are racist. This is voter suppression. And so what happened was, instead of voting on it, the minority of in the Texas Parliament, whatever it's called, ran. They left the state in a private jet without masks on, without after screaming about everybody needs masks and vaccines and everything. Now it turns out they started an infection in the White House. Right? There's at least 10 people infected from the group, which is about over 10%, and apparently the vice president was rushed to a hospital. And the White House saying, no, everything's fine here. So the fact checkers, the fact is, truth isn't what it used to be. The fact checkers go, well, the White House said it's okay, so it must be okay. We're not allowed to question that. Dude, have an equal playing field. Have an equal playing field, and you'll have some integrity. But you don't. The actor further expressed, they can't bitch about Biden because he's wearing a blue tie. Yeah, that's the point. So that basically they can do about Marjorie Taylor Greene or how wonderful. I mean, it's hard to say how wonderful Biden is doing when everybody can look out the window and see the country falling apart around them. Right? It's like, again, the freedom of speech thing of the past, and it used to be the government weren't able to curtail your freedom of speech because that was constitutionally protected, right? Wasn't that great? Those great times. So you know what they're doing instead? They just work with Facebook and they tell Facebook, oh no, we don't like those ideas. It doesn't matter if they're true or not. We don't like people saying that, so we want you to delete it. They go, absolutely, Dooley, no problem, I can do that. And then it's a private company doing it, not the American government. Yeah, but there's so many lines going, like critical race theory, basically saying that all white people are intrinsically racist and all black people are intrinsically victims, right? That's it. That's the essential tenet of critical race theory, which is being taught in kindergarten and being taught in toys and Hasbro. I saw a video yesterday about Whistleblower talking about how this little group was coming in saying, "Oh no, 3-year-olds are very racist. We got to do anti-racism training," and it's putting in every strata of society. It's a fake war they're fighting. It generally is. So the reason, so what they did, the lie they do to get around that is they say, no, critical race theory isn't taught in kindergartens. Don't be ridiculous. And that's sort of true. Critical race theory, the course, is taught in colleges, in law schools, and not taught to kindergartners. The ideas of political race theory, which is what Aaron is talking about, is very much taught in schools and is being inserted into every strata of society. So what do they do now? They're going out there and they're doing what they did the first time to get this guy elected by giving him free coverage when they act like they allegedly don't like him. Yeah, I bet they're all mad at Jack Dorsey. I don't buy it, the actor continued. I don't buy it. Their corporate news channel and their effing treasonous un-American pieces of shit. And he's right. Just like Fox News, MSNBC, and all of them. They are. They absolutely are. And do you remember a few years ago when Trump, he said, oh, look, the media is the enemy of the people. I believe he's correct. I believe he is correct because they're fundamentally dishonest, and I don't think there's any logical way of arguing against that now. However, far being done with this call out of mainstream media news outlet, Burr then took aim at the narrative these outlets are trying to push on the audience. Recalling, I was in the gym the other day and they had CNN on, and they wanted to ask them, can you turn the effing channel? I made it seem like they made it seem like California was on fire, which I don't know it is, but there's nothing I can do about it. Burr added, they go, okay, let's talk about COVID. The numbers are up. And just like that, it's just like that. What is the effing deal with those channels? They don't have any idea about what they're doing. Yeah, all those like COVID tickers are like saying how bad it is. They all kind of vanished, the minute the election was over. Here I am. Dude, where were you when Gina Carano was fired, mate? I guess you didn't want to lose your career. This is going to hurt you though. I wonder if you plan to do this or just off the cuff. Here I am in the gym, working off a goddamn ice cream sundae, and all I get is effing fires and pandemic shit, exclaimed Burr before asking, how about a positive story? There aren't any, mate. There aren't any. He then turned on to rant about the aforementioned outlets' willingness to cover news aimed at causing mass hysteria for the sake of nothing more than getting better ratings. Elaborating, I swear to God, if I ran a 24-hour news channel, our brand wouldn't be, we give you two bad, but we still give you one good. We give you two bad, still give you one good. Two steps back, but one step forward, right? We give you a couple of good stories. Listen, they want to give you good stories about Biden, but there's nothing good to tell you. He continued. There really is absolutely nothing good to say about it. You do a story that involves race relations where people were getting along, but that doesn't get ratings. So you have to make them feel like you have to make them feel like shit. You have to scare the hell out of them. Yeah, listen. The reason people think there's racists everywhere, racists everywhere, is because of the news, right? And the news putting forward this insanity. You've got to make them feel like they got a virus, their house is going to burn down, and that the National Socialists from Germany in 1930 are coming back, which is what they basically do. Those tent poles, those are the tent poles that make great half-hour news. Burr asserted they don't have a gun in their mouths by 18 minutes in. They were not doing a job. I think that's what they say. Yeah, listen, I can't disagree. It's just kind of nice, kind of strange that somebody's actually telling the truth sometimes. Yeah, Bill, mate, I don't expect to see you in Mandalorian season 3, or if you are there, you've already filmed your sequences. You can be removed. You can totally be removed. Look at Army of the Dead. Right, they had that guy in it. It was cancelled. They replaced it. With Tig Notaro. That's one of the best things in the movie. Funnily enough, but there you go. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi for another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.